Hello viewers and welcome to today's episode of Disappointed Dragon. It's been a little while since I've uploaded a video and a little while since I've recorded one as well. So I've been off on vacation, it being the summer months, but during that time I was, as always, on the lookout for interesting things to waste my money on because I have impulse control problems. So while I was out, I've been to multiple thrift stores as well as some small retail outlets in the north of the province I live in, and I have brought back some interesting things. The first one we're going to look at is this here shark man made thing. Kind of looks like a mermaid, but he's a shark. So I found this actually at a Pharmasave in a small town that we were visiting, and it was just a little play kit. There was a couple of different flavors of it. It comes with a bunch of different armor pieces, a vehicle of some kind, and a monster. So there was 2 sharks, both exactly the same mold except different colors, 2 ships, again same thing except different colors, a Yeti, a Sasquatch, and what was it, 2 dragons, I think that was it. I think there was only the 6 of them, but they all were the same. One came, the sharks both came with a ship of various colors. The Yeti came with, I believe, a Jeep, and I think the dragon came with a helicopter. But I only picked up one just to see what it was like. It's kind of like a little kit, as you can see by the giant seams. It's actually hollow and it just gets put together. The interesting thing about it is that the armor pieces are actually interchangeable. So both of the character, I guess not both of the characters, the vehicle and the monster can both use them as armor and weapons. So we'll do the ship first. I think I paid, I definitely paid too much for this. And it is pretty cool. I do like the big grippy arms. So there's the ship all armored up, ready to fight the sea monster. Oh, I think I paid like $7 or $8 for this, which is way too much money. It's quite light. I mean, it's not terrible. It's pretty good quality for a toy. I mean, this you could shatter because it's hollow, but this is actually quite nice. I would say $5 is about the max that you should ever pay for this, but you know, it's neither here nor there. It is cool otherwise. I have to say that the armor stuff is the armor and the boat are pretty good quality. The shark is not as nice, although it does look really cool. And the paint taps aren't bad. I'll give it that. So he can also wear the armor. These become his shoulder pads. This becomes his chest armor. The harpoon gun goes on his back, which you can't really see. Now, the only dumb thing is these. So they can't go in his hand like that. They can't go in his hand like this very well. They're supposed to go underneath like this, which is not fantastic just because of the way the arms bend. They're a bit silly looking. Unless alternatively you put them in the opposite arms so that they're kind of splaying out. Come on. You can do it. There we go. You can do it like that. But again, it's kind of weird. That's why I like it much better on the ship. I don't think it works as well. These two in particular. I like the shoulder pads and I like the anchor. I think it's pretty cool. But I mean, it was the most interesting thing I saw at the store there. So I picked it up. Although it wasn't the most interesting thing I found while I was on vacation. There was a little shop and restaurant near the cabin that we were staying at. And I was like, I'm going to go walk down there. I need something to do. I'm not going to find anything interesting. But I was wrong. This here is a flip book. And you'll see here there's actually a little piece of plastic sticking out because this was the display flip book. As it turns out, I saw this. It was attached to the shelf. And it was the display one. And they only had one other one, which is this one here, that was still sealed. And I asked, hey, do you have any more of these? And they said, no, we only have one. That's it. But you know what? I'll ask if we can sell you the display one because we're never going to be able to get any more of these. And they sold me the display one for half price. I mean, they were a little bit pricey. This was like $8 and this was $4. if you've tried to buy flipbooks online, especially from Canada, where I reside, you'll be paying a lot more than that for shipping and everything. Andymation, which is a great channel where he does flipbooks. He has a flipbook contest every year. I've entered it for the past 3 years just for fun. A couple of my flipbooks are on the channel. So you'll know I love flipbooks. And these ones are really, really cool. So they're animal ones. This one's a cougar. Really smooth animation. And it has facts on the other side. And it's actually a reversible flipbook, which is just such a cool thing. It's got facts in it. It's really neat. This one's not as good. I have to say that the animation is just as smooth. This one has a really cool animation, whereas this one is not. It's kind of hard to film a flipbook. But really, he just kind of walks off screen. And then on the reverse, it's just the skeleton spinning. I mean, again, I still love it. But I have to say that this one has so much charm, and I also kind of love the little plastic security thing that's there. It's just such a good flipbook. Look at that. Amazing, amazing motion. But then behind that, we have all of the junk I've picked up from thrift stores as I was out. as is clear from my past videos, I go to thrift stores a lot. I found a few. I've bought a lot of things recently, but not a lot of stuff that I thought was cool enough to show you guys. But here's a few of the things that I found that I think are interesting. The first thing is Zed from League of Legends. This is actually a fairly recent toy. They had them at Walmart and stuff. They're action figures of the League of Legends characters. They don't have all the characters, but they're really posable. They're fairly good quality. They had some by another company. I can't remember the name of it. They did them for the project, but they were not very good quality. And these were actually like mass-produced retail figures. And they're pretty cool. I mean, Zed's not a character I like, but I just thought it was neat because I think I got this for like $2. And I don't think they sold particularly well, because they were always on discount at Walmart. And I don't know if that's just because they ordered too many or League was not great in the characters they picked. Because, I mean, I like League, especially the lore and the characters, but they didn't do... Like, I'm interested in a lot of characters. They didn't make any of the characters I liked. And the one that they did make was Garen. And the sculpt of his face was just so bad. He looked really confused, in my opinion. And I just didn't like it. They also made a Darius, which I also like Darius as a champion, but it was weird because they had 2 scales. So it's kind of like Transformers, where they had like Deluxe and Legend, where this guy would be like a Deluxe figure and Legend is about half the size. Darius is half the size to this. So he doesn't scale with any of the other ones. And I was kind of like, I don't want a half size. I want a full size. But anyways, yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I mean, he is missing some pieces. I believe he's supposed to have an extra cape. And he also had some weapons, which I don't have. Another funny thing about this is it became a running joke because League of Legends toys kept on being discounted. I kept buying them for my cousin. I have a younger cousin who's very good at these games. And I kept every year I buy him another League of Legends toy as a joke for his birthday, which he hates. And I love it. Next we have, there is an imposter among us, as what I'm assuming it says behind there, by LB. I found this at the thrift store again. It is actually pretty much every single thing shown here inside. I'm not going to build it. You can see actually how much I paid for this, which was $3.99 in Canadian dollars. But I thought that was really interesting. It's clearly a knockoff Among Us construction toy. And it's very funny. So what I discovered when I was looking at this, so it's just a bunch of crewmen. And I thought they look really weird. Why do they kind of look like toes? They look like a big toe that's been colored. And then I was looking at it, and I looked at the back, and I saw this curly tail, and I thought to myself, I don't remember Among Us characters having curly tails. That's because they don't. This is a remold of the Mega Bloks pigs from Angry Birds. They've just taken the faces off. This is the pigs, and that's so funny. I looked it up afterwards. I'm like, yep, that's them. They're fine. I mean, for the construction bits are good. These guys are a little bit that hollow feeling, and they have that feeling of cheap plastic, but they're not going to shatter. They're not like those Minecraft ones I did ages ago. They're fine. They're fine. And this one I kind of love because he kind of looks like he's wearing a top hat and has a cane for dancing. Da 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 da. Yeah, it's cool. What song was that? Sorry, I got really distracted, but I couldn't remember what song I was humming. I think it was Just for Laughs. Anyways, next on the docket we have Soundwave. And this is a Soundwave that I don't actually know what series it's from. So as people will know, I'm really into Transformers, but I don't watch a lot of the newer Transformers shows because a lot of them are for kids, but they're not like, I don't know, I've never really felt the need to watch them. And I believe that this is from Robots in Disguise, or maybe it's Buzzworthy Bumblebee, the toy series. I'm not sure. But I saw him, he was in this bag actually, and there's actually some other interesting things in there. So I paid $5.99 for all of the stuff inside of this bag, and I don't think I overpaid. I actually think that was amazing because of this guy came in there. He's not complete. He's supposed to have 2 panels here that when you transform him to truck mode, they would cover up the sides so that he could actually be a more recognizable truck mode. But I didn't get him for his truck mode. I got him because he's Soundwave, and Soundwave is my favorite Transformer. I thought it looked pretty cool for a fairly modern Transformer. Like, he has a lot of hollow bits, which is a very common thing on newer Transformers. But he has a pretty cool silhouette. He looks great on a shelf. I'm going to put him with my other Soundwaves. Just posed up there. I kind of wish I had a Laserbeak to put on his arm. So he could be like this with a Laserbeak on there. I have a lot of Laserbeaks. Maybe I'll see if I can find one that'll fit there. But he's really cool. I'm not going to transform him because he's one of those Transformer toys that doesn't really have a great alt mode. His robot mode is pretty good. I'll put a picture of his vehicle mode up because it doesn't even look very good because we're missing those panels, so you can't, his arms are clearly visible. But he's kind of like this weird sort of truck, and he does look like a futuristic vehicle, but just kind of terrible. In this mode, he's cool. In his vehicle mode, he's lame. But I bought the bag for this. There are some other interesting things in here. The first thing is this Skylander. Not very interesting, and he's also broken. I don't really care about this. I mean, the Skylanders are weird. It was something I was never super interested in, but they're basically just amiibos for Spyro. I don't know. They're cool little things, and I mean, if you like them, they'd look good on a shelf, but also broken. Whatever. Then we've got John Jones, the Martian Manhunter from Justice League, or Justice League Unlimited. This was a cool show. This has obviously been well loved and stuck into a box of other toys where paint and crayons and everything has gotten all over him. I don't think he was ever quite this swamp green before, but, you know, cool show. Really liked it. Great theme. The one for Unlimited is one of my favorite musical themes for a show. I always thought the design of these guys was super weird. Like, look at how far back their back is when they stand. It, like, leans back so far. So weird. They have such weird silhouettes. They're so wide at the top and thin in the middle. Still, not a bad toy. If it wasn't so filthy, I'd be more interested. It's pretty gross. The last one, though, is my favorite thing that I got. This fella right here with his big old cowboy hat. And my favorite thing about this guy, not only that he looks like he's tipping his hat going, howdy, good to see you, partner. How you doing today? Is because, excuse my horrible Texan accent, I can't do one, is because he reminds me of Doug Dimmadome, the owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome. As soon as I pulled this guy out of the bag, I was like, this is just Doug Dimmadome. And I'm really tempted to see if I can paint this guy. Maybe use some of that green putty for kit bashing in Warhammer that my brother uses to give him the white suit with the string tie and just make this into a Doug Dimmadome figure. If I ever do that, I'll be sure to show you guys, but that would be so cool. I would love to have a Doug Dimmadome toy. It's just such a cool thing. He is my favorite thing that came in that bag. I bought it for Soundwave voice data for Doug Dimmadome when he was young. It's also really fun to say Doug Dimmadome. It's ridiculous. But that's it, guys. That's all the cool stuff I picked up while I was away. As always, if you if you ever go down to the thrift store, look through the toys. You can find some really cool stuff if that's the kind of stuff you're into. But as always, stay happy, stay healthy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.